Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're watching this video. I appreciate the support, cuzzies. Welcome back. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today is Wednesday, July 24th, 2024. In today's video, we're going to go over a couple key topics. XRP versus Bitcoin, DXY on a longer time frame, what I'm seeing on that. Obviously, Bitcoin, what I'm seeing on the short, mid, and long term. And then the smooth hike in the sheet indicator that I've been using more and more. Well, actually showing you guys in the Discord more and more. And I've been getting a lot of messages saying, can you show us how to use it? What's your thought process and what's the settings behind it? So here we are, cuzzies. It's been a while. Once again, when the summer comes and the sun is shining in New York City, I usually tend to beers, beaches, and boats. Once again, I have my alerts set. Nothing much has happened in crypto, but the one thing I do want to point out that has changed is the XRP versus the Bitcoin chart, which I need to let you guys know about. So, first things first, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. Instead of me writing a book, I'm making YouTube videos to teach you my thought process, right? So, I've been doing this for 17 years, like I said. What I am trying to teach you is not a complicated day trading process. I'm trying to teach you the basics first of swing trading, because during swing trading, there's not as much trading involved, there's not as much fees involved, there's not as much thinking involved. You don't have to sit in front of the computer for hours waiting for the market structure to play out, and then you open, or whatever it is, right? This is what I'm talking about. Everything happens in waves, but when you're bearish, the waves are going down. When you're bullish, the waves are going up. I'm trying to teach you to catch the around average of the highs and the lows, and to show you this, especially on a daily chart, these last a couple of days and are nice percentages, especially if you're not using any leverage or anything like that, right? So you could see the swing highs and swing lows. And just to give you an average, right, this was 7 days, 13% in a short, right? This was 11 days, 15% in a long. This was 4 days, 10% in a short. This was 7 days, 9% in a long. The point I'm trying to say is you have time for the market to form, right? You don't have to worry about watching the 3-minute or the 7-minute, and you're actually spending more time in front of the computer making less money. So first things first, what I look at is longer time frames, right? I go to the weekly to the monthly to see where we are on the indicators and everything else. So I was warning you guys during the last couple of videos that it didn't look good. We were making lower highs and lower lows. But the most important thing on this monthly chart is the monthly RSI did not break the moving average. The blue did not break the yellow. What does that tell me? Well, that tells me that we have hope. We have to break this high here of 68.89, right? And then we have resistance of the 76.33. But I've said multiple times in multiple videos, we have room, right? We're the halvening was in May. We're a couple months past it. We usually don't have a top 2-3 months past the halvening, right? We do usually have about a year or so, and then you see all-time highs for all of the coins. I've also said when XRP hits $1.50 range, the market's over, because it pumps last and it pumps the hardest, right? And it hasn't happened yet, and we'll get to that. So you can see here, these are the tops of every single bull market. And I said, this is probably that range that we'll stop at, the bottom here around this 85 level. And we only went to the 76. So because of us doing this, and we're making, once again, waves, but higher lows and higher highs, the most recent low is technically the 62.46, and this one went to the 65.07. So we need to see what the short-term to the mid-term price action does. Once again, first resistance level, we have room to grow back to the 70, back to the 69.29, but we need to see what happens. Are the bulls going to fight through that and break? Then we have room to grow on the monthly to the 76.73, And then we need to see if we have enough momentum to break that and make a higher high, because technically we went from the 40 to the 51 to the 47. We went up to the 76, came down to the 64. We need to see if this is now the next low. First thing that's telling me that we remain somewhat bullish on the longer time frame is we did not break the moving average and it's still going up. Example A, B, C. Okay, so we zoom into the daily. We don't need to keep this here anymore. So here is some support resistance lines that I am seeing, right? And the first thing that I drew was the white greed level. You could see the tops of the swings have a hard time breaking the white. So the first thing I think of is, are we close to it? No, we are at 66.8. You can see here we had a hard time breaking the 68, which is the purple, which is also another key level that you need to realize. So when you have conflicting lines, right, draw them. Okay, this is a support level, but this is also a support level. It makes you understand the range, right? Because you could see here we went from the yellow to the purple, but the greed level was from the purple to the white. We came down to the orange and then greed level to the yellow, but we came back into the trend to the purple. And where did we go to? The greed level of the purple and the white. So all I'm trying to figure out is if there's room to grow where? And if there's room to bleed, where's there room to bleed where? And then figuring out how much risk reward there is, and then what's the longer time frame to see if we're going to continue in this massive channel, making another lower low back down to the 52,000, right? Because we have been making lower lows each time, and we have been making lower highs each time. So we need to see, does Bitcoin go up in this upward rising channel? We have room to grow, because once again, if you go to the 6 hour, you can see here, here's the trend, right? We went from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. We bounced off support, formed a higher low. Let's look at the indicators. They look good. We went down to the 50. We are in section A. We are above the 0, so we're in section A, showing me that if we do go back to the 70 and we have a nice little golden cross here above the 0 line, we will start making higher highs on the price action. We're going to retest the 67.4. We're going to retest the 68.3. We're going to retest the 68.8. We then need to see if we're going to stop again at the 68.8 or 68.6 and form hidden bearish divergence on the indicator. So what that means is this high here, right? We did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. Now, do we do this, form another lower high, let's just say at the 67.7, but the price makes the same high at the 68.3. If we do that, then I know we are getting close to a local top. Once again, a local top is what? The local top is close to the purple and the white, purple and the white, purple and the white, purple and the white. I don't care what the news is saying. I don't care that an ETF for Ethereum was just approved on the blah, 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 because once again, I could show you previous chart analysis. When stuff happened, it's usually you buy the rumor and you sell the news. So you should have been buying Ethereum when it was low, not buying Ethereum when it's high and overbought. So once again, we're only talking about Bitcoin right here. So on a daily time frame, right? Let's delete this. Let's delete this. Excuse me. Nope. There we go. So another key factor that shows me that we are going up for at least the next couple of days, right? Because this is a daily time frame and every bar represents a day of trading, is the RSI. The RSI did not break the moving average. We did double bottom at the 58.28, showing me that we can go up and form, let's just say a head and shoulders, something like this. We come up and maybe we stop here, right around the 65.17, lower than the 67.75, showing us that we are potentially at the end of the run going from, 53.5 to 68.7. The market doesn't care when you bought, because the market did another 27% in 21 days, let's just say, right? It goes all the way till July 24th. I'm sorry, the 29th to the 30th. Then you have the Mt. Gox news come out, causes fear. People who are up 30% in technically a bearish sentiment, meaning the highs and the lows are getting lower and lower, say, screw it. I'll sell some of my Bitcoin at 68 to 69,000 and I'll buy it back even if it goes to 60. So now let's talk about that. So you can see here we've been talking about going up, going up, going up. Now you need to prepare for where it can, if it does stop here, where does it stop on the way down? Well, you can see here I have two support levels. We have the orange and then we have the yellow. Unfortunately, the orange is one key level, which is around 60,000, let's just say 59.6, right there. So it's like 60,000. You can see key support, 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 support. So that is one level. Unfortunately, you must keep some cash on the side if we are doing this. And I'll explain how to figure that out, because you can see here we have broken the yellow here, and we have broken the yellow. We've broken the orange here, and we've fallen to the yellow. So this is what I mean by figuring out how much money should I put in. This is not financial advice, but if you have $1,000 and you've been trying to buy Bitcoin, and we are in now a somewhat downtrend towards the end of the month and the beginning of August, you want to figure out how low can it go from the 60 to, let's just say, the next level of 54.3, or here. And it's 10%. So I'm totally comfortable if I had $1,000 doing like an 80-20, putting in 75% to 80% of my money here at 60, and keeping 20% on the side just in case it goes down to the 55 to the 53,000. Right? Because all you're looking to do, once again, when someone I'm a Bitcoin bull, and the reason why I'm a Bitcoin bull long, meaning like I'm buying stuff for my children. I don't like to talk about them on the internet, but I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for them because I understand that this is an ultimate uptrend, right? And when I show you the dollar, let me just do this. It looks like that, right? And this is what the rich do. When you talk to a financial advisor, they try and take your money and buy anti-inflationary vehicles because our government keeps printing more money, right? Talk to anyone that's double your age and ask them how much a hot dog in a movie was when they were your age. So we're here, we're trying to buy an asset that's up almost 3 million% in 12 years at the best time possible. Unfortunately, the best time possible was at 17.5, 15.5, 13.5. That's a little jab to everyone. And if you remember me saying that, put it in the comment section. Also, if you remember me saying that this rounding bottom will eventually end, the rounding bottom usually forms a cup and handle. The cup and handle is a bullish pattern, which usually breaks to the upside. So, with that being said, we're here. We're here. We have a couple months until our next beautiful election happens. I don't want you guys to be caught up with that. I will, in the Discord, join it. I'll show you a PDF file that I have of all the presidents of the United States and their impact on the stock market. And you'd be surprised that it's like a 55-45, right? Something like that, where regardless if it was blue or red or good or bad, the stock market usually just went up and to the right, right? Just because of what I told you before about inflation. Rich people don't know that it's real estate, commodities, stuff like that, and stocks that you have to buy in order to fight inflation over time. So, the orange line. If we come down and stop at the orange line, that is very bullish because what we're looking for is a reversal of this trend, meaning downward momentum. The first time that would happen is if we would form a higher low. The higher low has a very high probability of stopping at the 60,000 because it's been major support in the past. If we do come down and if we do stop at the 60,000, that forms an inverse head and shoulders, which is usually the end of a trend. And a trend revert, you can see 1, 2, 3 towards the upside. 1, 2, 3 towards the upside. Then we would be able to, this is pure speculation, to do something like this and then do something like this. And we would have the momentum to come back up and break potentially this downward resistance of the purple and the white and go back to the top of this channel, which leads us to, let's just say, 75 to 80,000. So that's Bitcoin. For the immediate short term, click on the 4 hour. You can see here you're going back into section A, and you've made a higher low. You have room to go back to, let's just say here, 2%, and keep your stop loss below the 65.3, which is your most recent low here. Now, next, let's go to XRP. XRP, give me 1 second. XRP versus the dollar. Now, I've said for the longest time, if you have an altcoin, the most important chart that you could see is actually your coin versus Bitcoin. The reason being is because of Bitcoin's dominance. Bitcoin has, let's just give you the number, Bitcoin has 55% of the market share, the total market cap just in itself. So if you're gaining momentum and gaining dominance versus the mother coin, your coin versus the dollar has way more power behind it. And I'll explain. So here is XRP versus Bitcoin. I've been saying this for the longest time. This has only happened 3 other times. What I mean by that is here, here, here. And I like to base my investments off of chart analysis. And if I say F the news, meaning I don't care what's going on with the lawsuits, CBDC, SWIFT, what Brad says, what David says, what anyone says, any YouTuber especially, when this was here, and this was here, and this was here, do me a favor, pause the video, write down these dates, and go to XRP versus the dollar, and tell me what the price action did thereafter. So, July 2014 to November 2014. March 2017 to November 2017. January 2021 to May 2021. I don't need to look. I've looked 1,000 times. They've gone up. It's gone up a lot. So what we're looking to do is have just a little pumpy pump back to this downward resistance versus Bitcoin. And you can see here we're having a trend reversal. I'll go into the indicators in a second. But we're looking at, just from this level, back to here of 54 to potentially 96% versus Bitcoin. It would look like a candle like this. Okay? It's funny that we're at actually the same level and we're double bottoming at that same level. Once again, go to XRP, March 21 to May 21. So if that happens, right, and we just go back to this little level here, XRP versus the dollar, right? Let's just look at this. What was this? March 2021. March 2021. So it's this candle right here. Now, we're going to take that and put it to the side. You can see here on the 2-month chart, XRP has this beautiful downward resistance, right? We went from $2 to 168. Okay? I'm not counting the $3. I'm not counting them. I'm counting where it settled, where the candle settled. So now we have, let's change this one to white. So once again, what I look to do is line up key levels on longer time frames. I want to see one candle and one candle, knowing that this level and this level right here, $2.01, this level right here, 164, this level here of 120, key resistance, major selling. We bet our profit taking levels with major selling levels, because if you're saying that we're just going to break 163 or 192 and go to $5.90, that's not the way the market works. You usually see selling pressure, right, at levels that you've seen selling pressure in the past, because unfortunately some people have bought at these levels and they're waiting for the asset to go back to not losing money, and they say, F this, I'm out, I'd rather take my money and go buy real estate, or I'm looking to go buy a car, I'm looking to go on vacation, etc., etc., etc. So XRP has been making lower highs, but it also has been making higher lows. So technically, is this a huge bull flag symmetrical triangle that will eventually break to the upside? Now, We went from here to here to here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We've made a higher low each time. That shows me that we have potential. This does look like a W pattern to break all the way back up to major selling pressure. So major selling pressure could be 120 to the white level of, let's just say, 136. And if we were to break, we can have a wick above to the 162. And at that point, we are now at major resistance for 3 confluence lines. At that point, if XRP is up 100 to 150%, not financial advice, but this is why I have 2 bags, right? Long-term bags for the kiddies, right? When all that news happens and the Warren Buffett tactic of just buying good things at low prices, knowing that the fundamentals will take over eventually, I'm not touching those bags. I'm talking about the bag that I told everyone to buy at that 40-something cents, right? You're up 130%. I might take 25 to 35% off the top so that if it does come back down and retest the 75 cents to 85 cents level and then bounces back to the upside, I have cash to work with. But I'm not taking 90% profit, right? I'm only taking a small haircut just to use the casino's money to buy back in. So now, remember, when XRP did this versus Bitcoin, right, we did this, okay? And we're just expecting around there, right? If we do this from here to here, right, from here to here. So let's just say it's not the same, okay? And we do, instead of 285, we were to do 176. So let's just say it's not the same huge line, right? That would take us all the way to $2. Maybe it's a little bit less. Once again, maybe like the $1.15, $1.37, $1.45, and we go from here, 37 cents, up 274% in like a week or two, right, or a month or two, right? And once again, I'm going to say it again. When when XRP is around that price, if it's the end of the market, Bitcoin's at 85 to 100,000, right? Ethereum's at its 4, 5, 6,000. All the other things are pumping, and XRP is at $1.50. It usually pumps the hardest, meaning 1, 2 candles of green or 1 candle of green, and then it's slow bleeding after that. Next, DXY. What can help this hypothesis that I just painted for you guys of Bitcoin potentially going up, XRP potentially going up? Where is it? DXY. DXY. What am I seeing? This one's very simple. The DXY on the monthly did not golden cross. You can see here it's having fake outs. It's like, well, we're going to golden cross. Nope, we came down. We're going to golden cross. Double top. Nope, we're coming down. And now we're opening up and coming down even more. What does that mean? That means we could retest the 102 to potentially the 101 level like we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times already. What does that mean? That means if money's coming out of the dollar, it usually goes somewhere, right? And it usually is going to assets. Next thing that I was looking at is the weekly. The weekly RSI is below the 50. Use it as resistance and has room to bleed back to the 44 or back to this key level here, right there, of 39 to 35. And if we do have room to bleed on the weekly and the monthly looks bad, that helps Bitcoin and XRP and all the stock market as well. Now, the last thing I will let you know, this is the smooth Heiken Ashi. I want to show you the inputs. I took off the wicks. Here you go. White and pink, white and pink, white and pink. Took off the labels, took off the values, took off the wicks. I have the short-term one, Alma 6. The second one is 3, second one is 6. And what it does, it helps you understand momentum. especially on a daily time frame. So you can see here, as momentum changes, it turns to pink. As momentum changes, it turns to white. I would use this on longer time frames, especially look at the 2-day, right? I mean, this is clear as day that you don't have to worry about any of the BS. Just when it's pink, you're in a short. When it's in white, you're in a long. You have double confluence if the order block indicator shows you bullish and it's white, and you have double confluence if it shows bearish and it's pink. You know, I'm trying to teach you a process you don't have to think much about. It's just very simple. Short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. And it's pretty accurate, to be honest. If you go to a longer time frame, it gets even more accurate, obviously. But if you look at Bitcoin, you know, we're here. And you can see here, we're at the point where it actually started turning pink. So if I'm looking at a 24-hour chart and I'm curious to see what the next candles are going to look like, I'll go to a 12-hour. And if you start seeing more pink, you know it could be the top of the swing, right? Same way with the top of the swing here, same way with the top of the swing here. If you want to see what happens even more from a 12-hour, I'll go to a 6-hour, right? So once again, that's a smooth hiking issue. If you have any questions about that or the order blocks indicator, just shoot me a message in Discord. I'll answer it right away. Besides that, enjoy the day. Set your alerts. Take the emotions out. Trust the charts. Understand that 60,000 is major support. If we don't stop there, unfortunately, the trend is potentially another lower low past to 54, 53,000, down to 52 to potentially 50,000. That's it, guys. Love you. Enjoy the day.